Hi everyone, welcome to Art Club. I'm Miss Liz, and today we're going to be creating some fall reflection pieces of art. Here are a couple of samples. So this is our tree line here, and then this is the reflection of that tree line in the water. And here's another sample. I did put some leaves on these two end trees. I used orange, red, and green, and I really like the way that turned out. So there's many different ways that you can create your art project today. You can add a little bit more detail by adding the leaves like I did. Just remember that there is water involved here, and it's almost like using watercolors, so your painting is going to change just a little bit. This is a super fun and easy project. You can spend more time and add more details if you like. I just enjoy this one because it's a lot of fun for all age and skill levels. Alright, let's go over what's inside your kit. I've got 2 pieces of painting paper for you and a variety of markers to use. And a couple things that you'll need from home is a dish of water and a paper towel. So as you're creating today, keep in mind that you can also use paint with this project, and you have to add a little bit more on there, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, I've got my paper bag laid out on my work surface, and our first step today is to fold our paper in half. So you want to get a nice crease. This is going to be our divider between the water and the land. And it's important to have that nice crease because once we finish drawing our land and our trees at the top and add the water, you want to make sure we have the crease so we get everything included in that portion. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw our grass. I'm going to draw it right on that crease. I'm using my green marker. I'm using the side of the marker so it takes up a little space. And I'm not like doing this because that's going to take forever. I'm going to use the side like that. And I'm going to make it a little thick. It's okay if it's wavy because our grass is not always straight. There's little hills. You can add a hill if you want. Just like that. Alright. Next, let's grab our brown markers and start making some trees. You're going to start down here at your tree line, and you're just going to draw your roots from the tree line and up. So we don't want to go all the way to the top. Alright, flip that camera around. So we're going to start drawing our tree from the grass. We want to have some of the roots in there because when we look at trees, we do see some of the roots coming out of the grass. So it's just going to be very basic. And I'm going to fill that in. I'm just going to make a couple branches. And let me show you the sample again. So mostly what we're looking at are the leaves on the trees. So you don't have to make too much detail on these branches. If you want to make some of them a little thicker, you can do that, but I wouldn't worry too much about filling that in a lot. And then I do like having some of the smaller trees in there. So I think on this one, I'm going to add a couple of smaller ones right here in the middle. Whoops, that went a little too far, but that's okay. I was thinking small, but maybe I'll just make it skinny. I'll try to make a small one on the next one. You can make a Y shape, like that. And because I started like this is okay. I'm just going to make that a little hill. I'm going to fill that in with a little bit of green and kind of add some green here. Alright. So your trees do not need to look like mine. All trees look different, and you just go ahead and create the ones that you like. And I'm going to add one more large tree over here on the end. Give that one a nice long branch. So these look kind of different type of tree, but keep in mind we're just going to be concentrating on adding the color of the leaves. Alright, so let's go ahead and start adding our leaves. Just remember, this is just a very basic picture. I'm going to start with this first one. I'm going to add yellow. You can add whatever color you want. And I'm really just going to kind of, almost like I'm drawing a cloud around that tree, like that. And then I'm going to fill it in with this yellow. Don't forget to use the side of your marker so it's easier to fill it in. Right, moving on to my next tree, I'm going to use orange. You can use whatever color you like. You can get creative and you can mix colors if you like. Alright, so I did like the way this turned out, adding the different colors of leaves on the yellow tree, so I'm going to do that again on this one here. And I'm really just drawing little short lines. I'm just randomly putting them in place. Fun to experiment, see what different kind of looks you can come up with. So I'm making some lines go in different directions. I'm not sure that's really going to matter once we add the water and that color just bleeds, but we'll find out. All right, that looks pretty good. And since we're experimenting here, I'm going to draw different shaped leaves like this on here just to see if that gives it a little bit different look when we add that water. You could actually draw a green one and use your red and make apples. Apples are part of fall as well. So I'm just going to do orange and red on this one. I'm going to guess that these being a little bit bigger leaves than the first tree, it's just going to show a little bit more color. I don't know that we're going to see that shape. I can't wait to find out. Alright, so next up is we want to have our sky in the background. I think it's important that we trace our trees and our leaves and grass first and then fill it in. So don't skip that part, and let's color it in after we trace and make sure we get as much of those white areas colored in as possible, because that's going to be reflecting off of the water below. I'm just going to trace around everything and then come back and fill it in. If your trees meet up here, you don't have to do right here. You could just go up to where they meet. But if you want it to look like the trees are not touching each other, the leaves aren't touching each other, then you could go ahead and fill that section in. I'll do that here so we can see what it's like. Alright, that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and bring our water over. So this is where you can either apply that with a paintbrush or a cotton ball. I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm going to have my paper towel handy. So once I've got all the water on there, I can just dry my hands and move on to the next spot. Alright, it looks like I've got everything covered. So I'm going to dry my hand. And we are going to fold this over and press it down. So you're going to have it right on that crease. You're going to press it down, smooth it out. On my earlier samples, I did have some kind of squish out the sides. So try to do more pressing down than moving around. And make sure you get that crease. All right. Once we open that up, oh, look at that. So it looks like I either didn't press hard enough right here, or maybe I didn't have enough water. But I think that looks fantastic. I think this almost looks so realistic, because when you're looking at your reflections of things in the water, you don't always see everything. Maybe this is the sun shining in, maybe this is waves moving in the water, so you don't actually see the entire reflection. I just want to tell you also, this is a fun project to do with paint. You can make other things that you would like symmetrical, like hearts or butterflies. The possibilities are endless.
There's my final product. I love it. I hope you enjoyed doing this project with me today. And if you would like to share yours with me, please send it to youth@newlenoxlibrary.org. And I hope to see you at the library soon.